Good morning. This is Cooper with Podcast Not Done, Project 4 a.m. It is Monday morning around 7 o'clock and preparing for the work day. I did some office work and here I am just ready to get the day going. And man, this morning the Lord, I feel like I'm sort of fighting with him a little bit. And I was cautious to think about posting this, but it's about being real, so I'm going to. But man, since I was about 19 years old, when I really took seriously this call that the Lord had put on my life to ministry, and to faith and marriage, fatherhood. It was a big year, really, and it was pretty quick. A lot happened in that short year, and 33 years old. Last few weeks ago is my birthday or whatever, and I have focused on running a business and just doing the things that people do in their normal life, and have accepted that and taken that on and aim to glorify God in it as much as I can, and to try to give him the glory. It's been a brutal 10 years because I've seen very little fruit from it in the eyes of ministry, of wanting to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And it's been really tough. And for the last 2 years, really, I've been praying very hard directly towards being in ministry. And I really believe that when the Lord called me to himself in 2000, I guess it was 2012, maybe 2011, I can't really remember, but when the Lord really called me to himself, and I took that call and was like, I'm gonna carry this. I'm gonna be diligent about my faith. I believe that the Lord wrote on my heart ministry. And so, I did seminary for 2 years or so, 2 semesters, Bible college, tried to go, with World Outreach and some different ministries like that, where we were denied with them because I didn't have a college education, and just a lot of different things. I had a very specific calling that I felt was, at the time, this would have been like 2015 or 16 maybe, to train and mobilize Latin Americans for unreached peoples. It was just like something I was very passionate about. And then I tried to get on with my church, with the student ministries, and was denied that. Was told, I wasn't a good fit for it. I wasn't able to commit to a long-term thing. So, and I mean, looking at it now, I think that was the right move for them and for me. I don't think my calling is student ministries. But man, what I just struggle with is to be so clearly called to full-time ministry. And to watch the Lord just deny me of that has been very painful and confusing. I'm a wanderer is, I guess, that's the working genius is the wanderer and the enabler. Like, my gifting is to give people a bigger vision for what their current situation is, and to enable them to move in that thing, towards that thing, and to help come alongside of them to do that. Like, that is literally my disc assessment, is you are made and created to be a disciple maker. And I'm stuck doing landscaping, which I am thankful for. It has provided for my family. It has put food on my table. It's put food on the table for many others. Well, when I look at how God knitted me together, I'm just like, man, that is what I am called to. And I am in a season of life where I cannot shake it. This wise man that I spend time with told me once before. He said, Cooper, a lot of times in our culture, when we feel like we need to do something, we think that we need to do it immediately. And so when God lays something on our heart, instead of us praying, like, Lord, would you equip me? Would you begin to train me? And you work towards that thing, we think we have to accomplish it today. And a lot of times we feel the Lord fighting against us a little bit, or we're fighting against the Lord, I should say, because we're trying to work it out in our timing and not in His. And man, I cannot quit thinking about that, because that is what this season feels like to me. Is like, okay, Cooper, you're called to something, and I'm working you towards it. There is hope. There is hope. I'm working you towards it. Right now, this is where I have you. And so prepare yourself. And I don't like that, because it's not today. It's not in my timing. But this man told me, he said, if I could go back to my, younger self in my 20s, 30s, and even 40s, and said, hey, 20 years from now, you're going to be doing this, and it's going to be perfect. You're going to be in a season where you can do it really well, and be able to show up really well. And so just be patient. More joy would have been there. Less struggle. And so, taking that advice from an elder, someone that is older than me and wiser than me and loves the Lord and has the ability to look back and be present, it's a powerful thing, and I'm thankful for his wisdom. And so that is my prayer, that the Lord would work in me towards that thing. I find myself very jealous of people that are in full-time ministry and being able to do their calling in that way is, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's something that really shouldn't be taken lightly at all, because it's an absolute gift from God. It's something that's unique in our culture, in America, to be able to do that. It's not available and pretty much everywhere else in the world. And so, that's another thing that I try to remind myself of. It's like Paul is a tent maker, and yet he is also in full-time ministry. And he is able to give of himself fully, regardless of how he paid his bills or worked his day. And so, like, that's a prayer as well, as like, Lord, would I be content? Would I be joy-filled? Would you give me your peace in this season as I labor for things that will pass away? But would I be active in ministry at the same time? And so that has been my prayer. I just wanted to share that with those of you that might be in that tension of kind of feeling stuck in the mundane of where you're at today, and wishing that you could be doing something different, but knowing that, man, where the Lord has you is where he has you. Like, there's no getting away from that. And so I think the call is to receive where the Lord has us today with joyful hearts. So that's my prayer for you guys. So y'all be blessed. Take care. Cheers.